Yeah, I think this one just dried out on me. And so is this one. That's fine. I'm not really into propagating bananas. Hence, I wasn't inspired to exactly finish these. But what I am going to do today is a pot a couple of gems I just acquired. My goodness. Let me see if I can get through there. Yeah. Should be alright. God, I hate Biden's Alba so much. That stuff is a nightmare. It's a nightmare. You got all these little prickly things stuck to you all over the place. Ugh. All right. All right. Let's start off. Some dye back here. I have to cut it back. Not sure what's going on with it. All right. What am I gonna upload today, right? How many do I have here? Look into these guys. All right, let's do this. Let's do Jabos. Hey, look at that. Oh, Lara starfruit. They're tiny. I wonder if this is normal for the Lara variety of starfruit, carambola. I'd be surprised if it is, but they're tiny. The carry makes them like 3 times as big. I might throw some soil into these bananas. We'll see. All right. Let's start off with some jabos. Yeah, it's already growing back and fruiting. It's crazy how, my gosh, what is this again? Mulberries, how mulberries respond to being trimmed back. Every time I trim them, they start to fruit. Alright, what else are we gonna need? We'll take some worm castings, and that's actually all I have right now. Just perlite and worm castings. Let's grab a marker. Hopefully I can see this color on those pots. We'll see. So I just got a couple of very interesting specimens here. So this is the T12 Jaboticaba, T11, and I think this is a hybrid between the red hybrid and the Rosa, the Plania or Phitrantha Rosa. Plania or Phitrantha Rosa. So this is part of those new hybrids developed in Taiwan, I think. I don't know how many they've done, but this is one of them. And that's pretty exciting. So this is the Rosa right here. Fitrantha. So this is, yeah, this one, it's got that one in it, and the red, which is a hybrid between the Oriana, or the white, and the Sabara, which is the black Jaboticaba. And the black Jaboticaba, the Sabara, can take upwards of 10 years to fruit, while the red hybrid can fruit under 5. So I think it's like 3 to 4 years for the red hybrid. Another red hybrid is the Escalarte, or Scarlet hybrid, which is also a hybrid between the Oriana and the Sabra. This came out differently. Okay, there it is. Ooh, I'll pot this one too. Jabos usually get top priority in my nursery here when it comes to uppotting. I was thinking of, I may uppot a couple of mangoes, but they can usually, all of the uppotting can usually wait until spring. But I just got some pots available, so I might as well. It's a never-ending task here, keeping these pots, or everything in general, just weed-free. I'm quite certain this stuff is probably edible and medicinal, etc., like everything else here in Florida. And here I am treating it like undesirable weeds. Unedible. First world problems, right? Okay. Alright, I don't feel like doing a weeding session here, but I couldn't ignore that craziness. And the whole pot was just overgrown. It's a Garcinia, lemon drop Garcinia. It's a Garcinia, lemon drop Garcinia. And so it's this one. One's the superior, and one's the regular. With nipple, without nipple. Okay. My gosh. This is the Bakupari right here. Garcinia Bakupari. I wish these weeds were affected by the cold, but they're not. They like grow better almost. It's insane. But I wouldn't mind some dandelion. Some dandelion growing. But that is not it. Hey, nice. White sapote pushing. Young hands. White sapote. It's supposed to be really, Nice cultivar. Good stuff. I'm gonna have to chop this thing way back. It's good. Just took off this one long single growth. Usually what I do is I cut it off at knee height for the first cut, trying to create a nice canopy. Which one is this here? Glen. It's the Glen mango. Alright, where's the other Jaboticaba? Oh, back there. Spiders. Wait, fooled me. It's not it. Hey. Alright. This, the Brancamel. So, I would love to get my hands on the Pingo de Mel eventually. Okay. I must have walked past it. What is this thing? Whoa, big old spider. Man, this place does not lack on spiders. Ugh. Oh, shoot. It's right next to it. How the hell did I miss it? Okay. There we go. Alright. Brancamel and Novak Fitrantha White. Keep knocking these sprinklers out. There we go. Oh, that's not a great sign. What's going on there? Which one is this? Buttercream. I have to keep an eye on this one. It's lost a lot of leaves. I mean, these mangoes took it down to, what, 32 degrees almost, 34 degrees a few days ago, so not too bad. Hanging in there. So you can tell this Brancamel is a white variety by the foliage. And if I showed you the white Oriana, you can tell where it gets that leaf, the leaves from. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. So, yeah, let me show you real quick the Oriana, the white Jaboticaba. It's got some beautiful growth. It's right here. So it's got. It's right here. So it's got these large, wrinkly, very wrinkly leaves. So a lot of these Jaboticabas are putting out new growth, pushing. Not so much the yellow, the Glazoviana. Not so much. Not so much the yellow, the Glazoviana. Not so much. I think this one is a bit more sensitive than others. What the heck's going on with that leaf? Whoa. I'm guessing it's pushing new leaf growth Unless it's flowering. I don't... I'm gonna have to keep my eye on this here. This might be flowering for me already. For the first time. No way. Yellow Jabo. Hey, that would be super exciting. Alright, anyways. So I could probably wait on potting these Jabos, but I like them to I like to let them grow as fast as possible, or as fast as they want to, so I pot them fairly early. And I bet you here within the next couple of months you're gonna see some major growth on these already, so which is what I want. Alright, let's start with this Jabo mix. We can do 4 Jabos, and then I'll leave one for 1 mango. Well, I'll pot 1 mango. I may add some soil to the bananas. We'll see. I'll see how I feel. Yeah, you know what? Let me start by planting this. No. So I got a triple planting of guavas. So there's a white guava, the pink guava, which I think it's the Barbie pink, and I used to have the Mexican cream guava, but I somehow let it dry out by accident, which sucks, because I hear a lot of good things about the Mexican cream guava. But I was able to acquire a red Malaysian guava, which is really ornamental, and it supposedly tastes really good too. So I'm gonna add that one to replace the Mexican cream guava in this triple planting. It'll be a nice contrast, yeah, with the two that have green foliage. This one has some really nice red foliage to it. So, and for the Jaboticabas soil mix, I keep it relatively simple. They get a blend of peat moss and perlite. And that's it. Usually, in this case, I'll also add some worm castings and some of this for the beneficial mycorrhiza and all that stuff. Plus it's got like bone meal and blood meal and so on to give them an initial boost. And hopefully soon, within the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna be potting some of the more mature Jabos into big 25-gallon pots. So I'll probably have to get more perlite. More perlite and more peat moss here. A lot more. Those 25 gallons are no joke. It's a lot of soil. A ton of soil. Ugh, tempted to just dump a bunch into the cart here. Let me do that. Otherwise it's gonna take forever. Let's break up these chunks. I think this one's had some chunks in it. Next we'll add some of this stuff here. Not that I'm sponsored by these or anything like that, but you got all the essentials in there, so get some good stuff in there. Let's see, what does it say? There we go. It's got bad guano, kelp, meat and bone meal, blood meal, feather meal, worm castings. So I just add some extra for good measure. And somewhere it's also talked about the mycorrhiza and everything. Or am I just imagining this? Shoot, I'm gonna have to get some organic fertilizer there that has that in there. Look at that, I'm eating my words right now. I lied to you. Well, Schnitzel, I could have sworn I had. Yeah. All right. Well, shoot. I'm going to have to get some organic fertilizer that I forgot the brand that I normally get that has all of the beneficial mycorrhiza and whatnot in there. Alright, well, whatever. Here we go. Bunch of peat moss. And sounds like this year already, the mix itself has peat moss in it too already. So we're just gonna sweeten up the peat moss with a bunch of extra worm casting. And a bunch of perlite. Finished the other one. Ever since COVID, all this stuff's gone up in price so hard, and then you used to be able to get a huge bag of perlite for next to nothing. And now you get like a fraction of it for just as much money. Alright, let's get this little stir here. You don't want to inhale this stuff. That'll mess up your day. Okay. Measure. Alright, let's see if we can see this marker on here. Yeah, good enough. So it's going to be the T11. It's going to be the Rosa. The Novak White. Here. Put the Broncomel. Give this little Jabo its new home. Hey, look, little earthworm. That's a good sign. Alright, let's see where the roots are here. Right there. Let's kind of get to that top layer of the roots. Compact it all a bit. Go. Broncomel. You can really see the white Jabo traits there. Next, we got the Rosa. Where did I put that one? There. Let's go a little bit deeper on this. Squish it around a bit. I'd be surprised if the root mass holds up. But it's gonna fall apart. Yep. Not too bad though. Got a nice clump on the top. Let's see how far down we have to go. Oh, yeah, I like that nursery where I got these from. I didn't plant them too deep. God knows what he's doing with these things. Okay. Nice. This is a Rosa, Phitrantha Rosa. I think the name's a little bit longer. I just gotta look at my list. All right. Next. T11. So again, the T11 is a hybrid between the red hybrid and the Rosa. I can show you all the red hybrid here in a moment. Like a nice mature specimen of the red hybrid. Alright, I have a feeling this one's going to fall apart a lot. Squish it around a bit. Oh, it's doing a lot better. I don't know what that nastiness is there. Got some kind of mold growth. Okay, let's dig down on the roots. Kind of expose that first layer. Just right there. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Somewhat straight. Alright. I'm gonna have to top these off with some more dirt. Sweet. I'm super excited about these. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Especially the Rosa and the T11. Novak Vitrantha White. Nice root ball. Nice and tight. Together en masse. Alright, let's make sure we got the roots. Okay, yep, they're already right there. Awesome. Good deal, yep. My goodness. Kind of too dry for my taste. These Jabos like it very moist there in the roots, so gonna have to water these in really good. Alright, I'm gonna have to add some more soil here. Let it air out. Alright. Let me see. I'll add some to this one there. other two are fine. Nice. Novak White, Fitrantha, Rosa, T11, Bronca Mel. Sweet. Alright, let's just bring these to their new home. So these should fruit. I don't know about the Rosa. I gotta look that one up. So these should fruit. I don't know about the Rosa. I gotta look that one up. But usually any Jaboticaba that has sort of the white parentage fruits under 5 years, usually either like 3 to 4 years or 4 to 6 years. I mean 3 to 5 years or 4 to 6 years. Like this Bronca Mel here. That's and since the Rosa has the T11 has the red hybrid in it. The red hybrid is one that fruits fast, usually between 3 and 5 years. I'm hoping that it applies to this one, to this hybrid as well. I gotta look up at the Rosa to see how fast that one usually fruits. So it's this is the T11, okay. So this one almost has a weeping look to it. Yeah. Well, these were a rare Black Friday find, so. Well, these were a rare Black Friday find, so I didn't expect get new Jabos, but couldn't turn those down. What I went out for on Black Friday was the red Malaysian Guava, which I got. But then I found those. The Bronca Mel and the Novak White I already have mature specimens of. Those were, I got them for like $15 each. So I picked those up as well. I'm probably gonna put these two varieties up for sale on the website here at some point. Website here at some point. Or one of each for the collection. So. Water on there. I should take the hose to it. Really water them in. Oh my gosh, these weeds, just endless. should do good. Alright, let's see which mango I'm gonna pot here. Probably that really lanky one. Yeah. Let's pot this one. Which one was that again? Glen. I gotta plant this one here. This is kaffir lime. It's waiting. But I'll free up this pot here for another mango. And this pear I'm gonna be planting here soon as well. And free up that pot for another mango. And I'll keep the mangoes for at least 2 years in the 7 gallons. Okay. Let's add a little bit of this to the magic mix. This. That. Get that blended in. Yeah, it's already too much. Take some out. Still too much. Alright, let's see what this does. So the Glen mango is a very slow growing mango. So it's classified as a dwarf or semi-dwarf. It just takes a really long time to gain a lot of size to it. So you can grow it in pots for a very, very, very long time. Which is why I like to keep it in the collection. Let's find the roots there, actually. Yeah, they're right on top. That's good. A little bit more. Et voila. This mango's got a new home. Go ahead and cut it as well. I've done already a lot of chop and drop for the season, but some other things I'm still waiting on to reach maybe January, February before I chop and drop the rest. Like the ice cream bean and strawberry trees before I chop and drop the rest. Like the ice cream bean and strawberry trees. Like the ice cream bean and strawberry trees. I'm using those as for microclimate. Their canopies are protecting some smaller things like anonas and garcinias that I have planted next to them. Let's see, have any snips here? Nope. Yeah, that's fine. I'll leave it for when I do the chop and drop. Cut it a bit. All right, let me see if I can find this couple of examples there. So this actually is a nice hybrid as well. This is the hybrid between the Sabara, and so the leaves are very much like a Sabara, but it's a Grimmel Sabara hybrid. Which this is the Grimmel, but it looks like a Charlie Brown tree because it had a huge growth spurt and it left nothing but trunk. I mean, it's huge, 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 huge. It's over 6 feet by now. So, but it'll fill in. Plus, I gotta give them a good feeding here soon. This is the blue Java, Jaboticaba, or the Vexator. It's nice and big and bushy. Anyways, where's this? This is the Oriana. Where's the Novak? That's the Sanford. Cruz de Bahia. Which one are you? Ah, come on. Dang spiders. I mean, there's so many of them everywhere. Stinga. So this is the red, right? So this is the hybrid between the Sabara and the Oriana. So a natural hybrid. Huge, by the way, way over 6 feet as well. This one actually is fruiting for me already. It's gotten some, it's flowering again right now, so which is really exciting. Let me see. So this is the T11. Has this one as a parent. And then the Rosada, which I don't have an example of, unfortunately, but, well, a small one. And then the Rosada, which I don't have an example of, unfortunately, but, well, a small one. Look at the new growth on this one here. Gorgeous everywhere. It's got some real nice new growth everywhere. This is approaching 6 feet. Which variety is this? All right, well, here you go. This is the Brancamel, and you really can tell the Oriana in here. Brancamel. And then I got the Novak white right here. So again, you can see sort of the wrinkle leaves in there. So it's a big specimen of that Novak white, which should be fruiting for me here soon. Say another season or two at most. I should see some fruit on there. The only Jaboticabas I've tasted so far were the red and Yeah. Oh, and the rum berry. Which the rum berry was very, very different tasting from the red. So if anyone ever wonders why people collect all the different Jaboticabas, they do taste very different from one another, for the most part. I'm not sure how much different the Sabra is going to taste from the Paulista, for example. Because they're both Sabras, just different seedlings, I guess, cultivars, whatever. I'll leave it there. I'll go add some soil to these bananas. The reason I don't baby these bananas per se is because they just grow like weeds. But since I have the soil, there we go. Which one is this? Oh, some. Which one is this? Oh, some really nice looking one. When it gets older. That's this one. I didn't even mark this one. So, who the hell knows? Ah, ice cream. Let me mark it right now before I forget again. Ice cream banana. Let me mark it right now before I forget again. Ice cream banana. There we go. That's also the Sumatra, but I think I let this one go too far. Not sure if I can rescue it. What's this one here? I didn't even bother marking it. Right here. I didn't even bother marking it. Right. So... yeah. So since I have no idea which one this is... oh, you know what? Popoolu. That's what that one is. Popoolu. Let me mark it. No, it's Popoolu. Let me mark it. No, not Popoolu. Shoot. Pisang Ceylon. I don't know how to spell pisang. Let me see. There we go. Ceylon. I think the pisang Ceylon is like a staple in the Philippines. Very starchy. Nice cooking banana. I haven't tried it, but that's kind of the reason why I'm growing all these 20 different varieties, so I can, well, taste them. And then eventually, once I tasted them all, I'll probably keep like half of them. Because keeping bananas is a ton of work. Got to keep up with the pups that they sprout. And if you don't take them off, you're going to end up with a huge banana chair, clump, whatever you want to call it. And I can quickly for food for going on. I don't want these to grow too crazy and too vigorous, but I also don't want them to dry out. But bananas, they're kind of tough to kill. They're very resilient. You almost have to... But bananas, they're kind of tough to kill. They're very resilient. You almost have to... Very resilient. Okay. That's good enough for now. I don't know if this one is worth saving. I'll try anyway. Especially since I already have a pup. I've thought of selling these pups as I thin out the clumps, but these pups as I thin out the clumps, but just dealing with people, I just don't like it. There's always something, and then people want like something for nothing usually, you know. And then people want like something for nothing usually, you know. So it takes time, effort, and it's free, you know. And plus it's the haggling, and then usually what happens is that they'll say, you know, oftentimes I've had also her like, yeah, I'll buy it, I'll meet you or whatever, and it's just no show, no call kind of thing, you know. It's time and effort wasted, and anyways, you know, it's time and effort wasted, and anyways. Especially stuff that's easily obtainable. If it's usually like more of a collector item, then people that are after those sort of like collector items, they're usually not, how do you say, they're more reliable buyers anyway. Alright, that's good enough for, how do you say, they're more reliable buyers anyway. Alright, that's good enough for now. You can always top it off with more soil when, if need be. Okay. So I did create a whole new banana section where I'll be storing a lot of these pups. So, because this here is really just reserved for mangoes and a few other varieties like the white sapote and the Garcinias, but bananas, mangoes, so they take up a lot of room, and so will bananas here. Once they actually start getting some, they take up a lot of room, and so will bananas here. Once they actually start getting some size to them. So I'll be moving those somewhere else. Okay. Now I was hoping, well, yeah, let me see, sure. Let's do a couple of these. So I got this wax bamboo that is in dire need of a new home, new pot, with the roots poking out here on the bottom. So we'll be giving this one here a new pot. I believe this is the white wax bamboo. Don't know though, so I'm gonna have to hold on to it until it fruits before I can give it away or sell it or whatever. But only it's mainly a backup. It's mainly a backup of the planted, of one that I have in the ground. They're supposed to be somewhat cold intolerant, a bit finicky. So yeah, it's more of a backup. Get some more soil. Dump it. And voila. Just gotta find a spot for it. There we go. Luckily I have a bunch of spots that open up here. Oh, you know, it's always even. I have a bunch of spots that open up here. Oh, you know, it's always even. I move these fairly frequent, so it always usually tends to open up here. People love fruit trees. I know I do. It's nature's dessert. Plus, it's kind of fun, you know, once they start fruiting for it. It's nature's dessert. Plus, it's kind of fun, you know, once they start fruiting for it. Especially reward you with some tasty treats, nature's desserts. But what sells really is when people see a fruiting tree in a pot loaded with fruits. That usually sells all on its own. I know I've bought plenty of fruit trees just because they were fruiting and I was in awe. Yeah, you know what? We're gonna up-pot this variegated Eureka lemon, pink lemon. It looks nice. I know a lot of people, they're into variegated stuff, but I can appreciate it for what it is, but I don't particularly go after it just because it's variegated, you know. I'm not into that. Ow, this is thorny. Whoa, that's a big old worm in there. It's a burrow. It's a worm, all right. Multiple, that's a good sign. Nice. But yeah, I'm not particularly into the whole variegated collector's space. Though I am after a variegated Jaboticaba, but I'm not, actively hunting it down. I know several people that have them, and they usually ask for a high price as well, you know. Justifiable, I guess, but either you're into them or you're not. So I know this one guy. I don't know him, but I know of him. I watch his videos online and so on. It's Zane's World in South Florida, and he has a ton of really cool and so on. It's Zane's World in South Florida, and he has a ton of really cool, rare, variegated fruit trees. Like variegated sapodillas, variegated jackfruits, I think, and mangoes, and even this Adam Chef somewhere in the Orlando area. He's got like a variegated mango, which is kind of cool. And you got variegated guavas. But again, cool, but I'm not necessarily after them. Okay. All right. Eureka lemon. It's not greening resistant, so I don't really do, like, I have a bunch of different citrus, but it's not something I actively collect. mainly because of this whole green, but it's not something I actively collect, mainly because of this whole greening disease that they got going on in Florida. There's a number on these citrus trees. Which is a shame. They do have some greening resistant varieties, like the Sugar Bell, for example, which I can appreciate a nice Tangelo. So I have it, so we'll see how it does. I do have, I think, a Satsuma Mandarin, which is unfortunately, all the signs are there that it got hit by the greening, so yeah. It's just a matter of time, not if, but when the greening hits your citrus. And we got another Java, wax apple. What did I say? Yeah, water apple, wax jambu, not Java. Unfortunately, I don't know. I think it's also the white variety. I did make some backups of a red and a green, but I lost track. Unfortunately, I lost track. So that just means that I'll have to make more backups, and actually label them. So these are probably I'll just plant out somewhere or trade or so with someone willing. So that's another thing. The reason I propagate is it's wouldn't be the first time that I trade a fruit tree for something, either another fruit tree or items. I think what did I trade last year? I had a cherry star fruit, loaded with fruits in a pot, 7-gallon pot. And I traded that one in for a canoe, actually. So a nice big canoe. There we go. I'm putting wax jambu. So these are all already fruiting, so it's just a matter of them gaining a little bit of size. And they're already fruiting, so you just want them to gain a little bit of size so they can hold on to the fruit and actually give you a bunch of fruit, not just one or two. And they're supposed to be very sensitive to the cold. But I have to tell you, my wax jambus have taken temperatures down to 32, no problem. It didn't freeze. There hasn't been a hard freeze. Plus, I kind of plant them where there's a microclimate around them. Other big mature trees. So I'm sure that helps. I mulch everything very heavy, so it usually keeps the temperatures. So this is, again, either the white, the red, or the green. I think it's the white because that's the variety I made backups of first. So logic dictates They should be size-wise. They should be size-wise the biggest by now. But hopefully I don't have to wait too long before I can tell. Because they should fruit here soon, actually. Tiny little things. So I usually just break the fruit off until they gain some kind of size, you know. As much as it pains me. But you want to give the tree something like a fighting chance, you know, and not have a little tiny thing already bear fruit. Probably just suck the whole life out of it. But mangoes like this one here in the 7-gallon, I'll let it hold on to like 2-3 mangoes, which is enough to get a nice taste of the variety. So I think this is Kerry here, which this year had a nice big Kerry mango sitting on it, and I decided to wait, give it another day or two, and then sure enough, the next day it was gone. Some raccoon beat me to it. Bastards. There's gonna come a time where I'll have to start trapping these suckers, because otherwise they'll just keep taking all the good stuff. Once they start chowing down on my Jaboticabas, that's it. Game over for them. I'm not gonna like kill them, though I know plenty of folks that do, but don't have it in me. So I'll probably end up relocating them, which we'll see. It's kind of a hassle too. Alright, so we've got the Llama Rosada, but I'm gonna leave that one alone for now. It's still too young. But I'm gonna leave that one alone for now. It's still too young. Still too young. I have to go through these pots and take the ones out that didn't do anything. So I think this is the white or the green mulberry. Again, I'm gonna have to wait for it to fruit. So I think actually this is anyways, I have to wait for it to fruit. It's edibles. This is Nona Montana, and it kind of died back on me big time here. I'm not sure what happened to it. There's no roots yet. So we'll give it a chance. Luckily I had another sprout right here. So should pull through. We'll see. Should pull through. Alright, let's see what else I can put. I'm gonna leave those mulberries alone for now. Got a bear's lemon, but I'll leave that one alone for now as well. Let me see if the roots are really protruding out. Nah, not really. So the bear's lemon is supposed to be a really nice tasting lemon variety. So we'll see. Got this cherry of the Rio Grande. Let's see if we got any roots on the sides. Ja. Da kommen schon die Wurzeln raus. Mal sehen. I think I will wait though. I'm not gonna. Got a little bit here. See this? So I'll wait a little bit more I'll give it some more time in this pot before I pot this one. So that's Savannah cherries, which size-wise I can already tell they're gonna need some more time. Don't have anything sticking out yet at all, so we'll give these some Dovialis, K-apple. That one's gonna have to wait some more time as well. I used to have the Pitanga tuba, which apparently didn't do well. Got a Gumichama here. It's putting out some new leaves here. Nothing sticking out yet, so it's gonna stay in this pot for some time. Gumichamas are just really, really slow growers. Very slow growers. Alright, Suriname cherry, also very slow grower. It's the red variety. I should make some backups of the dark, the Zil dark. Okay, well, I think that's it for these guys. Yep. Let me see this one. Oh. Alright, so this is another wax jambu. They're fairly quick, fairly fast growers, so it's kind of nice. Got a bunch of new growth coming in here. Again, I just wish I knew which variety this is. It's again I don't know. I'm not gonna guess. I'm gonna pot this one. Got root growth all along the sides, so yeah, why not? Let's pot this one. I do not remember what those are, but seems to be doing fine. Yeah, let's pot this one. Why not? It'll love it. It will love it. Okay. Let's see. Hopefully it won't completely fall apart on me. You shouldn't, judging by the root growth there. Whoa. You know what I did wrong? I normally... You know what? I'm going to have to do that to the other two here. Kind of peel back the top. Expose more of the trunk, but I usually just rip open those pots, just little skinny, tall propagation pots. I usually just rip them open to avoid exactly what just happened to this one. All right, no biggie. Should do just fine. Let's put this one next to this. Let's put this one next to this. More clips. Alright, we'll see how this does. I got some purple sugarcane that I'm gonna have to plant out here soon. The roots are also all over the place. The roots are also all over the place. What's this here? No, it's from a citrus, isn't it? Yeah, it's from a citrus. Dig away a little bit here on the trunk. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, I'm good here. Now, let's go plant this red Malaysian so you can see what that sucker looks like. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Yeah, I'm gonna need some clothes. Keep popping out. Once they turn on, it'll pop out even more. Grr. Anyway. With my luck, it's gonna rain. Oh. I'll try and not pot a jabo here before it rains. Into a nice big 25-gallon pot. See what I do, I just cut these barrels in half, and that's basically 25 gallons. So, and I'm hoping that this Mamey sapote will actually hold on and produce some fruit now that I've potted it from a 7-gallon into a 25. So it's been flowering for me every year. Just haven't seen any fruit, so hopefully this will make the difference here. Got this white redland sapote. It's fruiting for me as well. So it wasn't a 7-gallon, and it was fruiting for me for a couple of years now already. It's a grafted tree, so but it's got some size to it where now it was time to put it in the ground, and hopefully I'll get some fruit here in the next season or two. I'm just gonna have to cut off these lower branches here, create this little lollipop kind of structure, canopy. All right, so here we are. Check out the red Malaysian guava. It's a beauty. Very ornamental. Got really nice, deep red flowers, almost like one of those cranberry hibiscus. You can see it really well in this one. Now, I did notice a lot of fruit flies on mine too, and that's kind of like a killer when it comes to these guavas. Don't know if I haven't really had any issues with finding worms in the guavas, but I do know I have fruit flies So I'm just gonna have to keep an eye on it, and if it becomes an issue, I'm just gonna have to basically bag them up. I'm not sure if that actually works or not. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's getting... This is exactly how I lost the cream, the Mexican cream, which was this here. The dripper was pointing far away from it, so I think it dried out on me. So, which is almost what just happened again now with this red Malaysian, if it wasn't for me checking right now. So we're gonna put this one into the ground before anything can happen to it. So I got the Barbie pink right here, which is fantastic, and it put on a huge crop this year. And this is the Taiwanese white guava, so it's hanging in there as well. I should be seeing some fruit here in the next season or two, hopefully. It has flowered for me, but we'll see if it actually holds on to some fruit. All right, let's put this one in the ground. Would help if I remembered where I put the shovel. I need something to put dirt in. Yeah, I can use the cart, I guess. I got some snakes up in here, so hopefully I won't run into any. Dig up the old one. In the cold weather, the snakes like to hide in this warm mulch. Tag. Had it for $14. Mexican cream guava. Kind of bummed about that. From Lowe's, big box store. It was a very random find. Every now and then these big box stores have some like unique varieties, but bummer. Heard a lot of good things about this variety. Really looking forward to it. But, c'est la vie. C'est la vie. But look at it this way. If I didn't lose this one, I would have never gotten the red Malaysian, so, which now I'm equally excited about. Real bummer. I think it just really dried out on me. There's no chance it's coming back. It's just, yeah, see. No life left in it. So I think it would have come back by now if there was anything left. Yeah. There's nothing green here. Yeah. Bummer. Alright, anyways. Let's put this one in. Move it over some. Okay, we'll drop it in right there. Oh, maybe it's a little bit further in, I guess. There we go. I'm not gonna do it too deep. Just a little bit more. Okay. Alright, let's get this gorgeousness in the ground here. Yeah, really love this foliage. So red. Very deep burgundy kind of red. Just sticking, doing nothing at the moment. Let's get this off of there. We're gonna have it facing outward. So, what's this guy called? That's sort of the pioneer of this whole backyard orchard culture that preaches this high density or ultra high density planting. Like Dave Wilson or so, right? So I took a page out of his playbook there with a few of my guilds. In this case, it's this triple planting of guavas, different types of guavas. So I think it's going to look real nice. Such a contrast here. Plus, I hear this is a tasty variety too. So, all right. So I have this trunk leaning outward, that trunk back there leaning outward, and now this one here also leaning outward and away. All right, now it's backfilled a little bit. With just native soil. I could sweeten it up some, but I'll save the good soil for the potted plants. Once I put them in the ground, I just use native soil. shake it. There. Go. Alright. This should do the trick. Let's get this dripper on there. It's supposed to be. Actually, I don't want to bury this one so I can see. Alright, now I'm going to cover it with the mulch. It's leaning slightly too much, but I'll brace it. And mulch is key, folks. Anyone that's already heavily into fruit trees or is trying to, that's key. Heavy mulch. Try and keep it away from the trunk and you're set. It's all the fruit tree needs. So I'm gonna need to get a stake, a nice stake to keep that dripper in place. I don't want to run the risk of letting this dry out again. So I'll brace the trunk somewhat. Stick this in here, straighten it out, and drive it into the ground. There we go. All right. That's good. That's good. I can probably let it lean slightly more, but I'm sure it will anyway. Awesome. Let's mark it. Right, Malaysia, whatever. I'll know what it is now. Whew. Sweet. All right. I've been wanting to do this for almost an entire year now. That's how long the other one dried out on me, but yeah. Fruit trees are quite pricey nowadays, so I told myself I'll wait for a nice Black Friday sale. And here we are. Luckily, they had them in. Awesome. Man, this is going to be nice. Super excited about this one. So I'm probably not going to see fruit, though, for like at least 2 seasons. You know, as they say, year 1, they creep. Year 2, year 1 they sleep. Year 2 they creep. Year 3 they leap. And that's pretty much exactly what happened with this one. I had to wait no less than 3 years for this one to actually give me some fruit. So in this one now, the Taiwanese white is nearing 3 years in the ground now. So I'm saying hopefully in a season or 2 I'll see some fruit on that. So probably expect the same for this one. So yeah, you gotta be patient when you grow fruit trees. It's a game of patience. Unless, you spend several $100 on a big specimen that comes in like no less than 25 gallons, then you're talking about a fruit tree that's already in a pot, loaded in a pot. So, but yeah. And I don't mind waiting. We got all the time we need. especially with these Jaboticabas. Like, I'll probably have to wait at least another 8 years till you see even any fruit on this Sabara. At least 8 years, probably more. At least another 8 years till you see even any fruit on this Sabara. At least 8 years, probably more. You wait like 12 years plus on a Sabara to fruit. And it's got about 8 years in now. Super slow growing. Yeah. Anyway, at least that's why we got the hybrids, right? The reds, the whites. They fruit sooner. Alright, let me take a look at this jujube. Jujube. I don't correct people when they tell me about a fruit tree variety and I know what they're talking about. Don't correct them. Call it jujube, jujube, whatever you want. This is the honey jar right here. So it looked like a little Charlie Brown tree for a little while because I let it get too dry. So much for being super drought tolerant, right? But yeah, dried out on me, lost all of its leaves, so it took about a couple of months for it to bounce back. But now that it has, I'm gonna drop it into the ground right next to that Atamoya right there. That's the Bradley Atamoya. Another one that's supposed to be superb in flavor. Could use some tying up here, actually. Keep it straight. I'll do that another time. Let me see if I can move this up. Hey, look at that. Problem solved. What happened? It ripped. No. I think it got a little too brittle. Tape on there. Come on. Let's try that again. Okay. See if we can keep it somewhat straight. Yep. So there you go. I don't know if you can see that or not. Bradley Atamoya. It's got some new growth coming up here. So, alright. Can't wait to try that one. So the jujube, I'm gonna place right here, not too far from it. Problem I encounter is wild muscadine grapes, and these vines are just so invasive. They take over like crazy. So, which is why I haven't really planted anything in the spot yet, because I'm gonna be fighting these freaking vines. Anyway. So what I have to do here. Let me see what I'm dealing with here. Some kind of worm. Grub. So this, by the way, is a nice cedar bay cherry. pushing out lots of growth. This fruited for me heavily all last year. Oh, well, throughout this year. All throughout the year, it was just fruiting for me heavily, which is nice. They're quite tasty. Tasty enough for me to keep in the collection. And you can keep this in the 25-gallon for forever. Forever. That's what I'm talking about, you know. So if I were to sell this would sell a little easier because it'll be loaded with fruit, right? So not that I'm going to, because it's part of my collection, but just saying. Man, this thing is super thorny. The jujubes are super thorny. This variety, anyway. I got a green giant Thai, and it's nowhere near as thorny. As a matter of fact, I don't think I've seen any thorns on that one. But this one is like a rose bush. It's got that many thorns. I'll have to run water as well. Ugh. Got my main water line there, so I can just kind of hook it into that. Yeah. Oh, so here, this is the mandarin that I suspect of having greening, because it had these green, I'm not sure if the camera picks it up, but it had green splotches all throughout, all over the place, and really misshapen, and it died back completely. So this gets watered enough, you know, but I mean, it's such a beautiful fruit, though, you know. It's zipper skin, nice and juicy. It wasn't very flavorful, though, so it's a very young tree, very small. So what might have happened is that I let it hold on to too many mandarins, to simply just too many mandarins. It's quite possible, but the fruit being so splotchy with green was just kind of a little bit suspect. But yeah, I have a feeling I might have actually killed it by letting it hold on to too much fruit. But then again, not really, because I have this Meyer lemon here that's tiny. It's tiny. And I let it hold on to like 5 big, nice, juicy lemons, and it did just fine. So, I don't know. One can only theorize here. But, yeah, I mean, great fruit. Great fruit. It was a little bland, but great fruit. And this just completely died back. I have to keep an eye on it, see if it comes back at all, or what's going on. See here, it's nothing. We'll see. I'm hoping it comes back. I don't have much luck with mandarins. I had to have another mandarin in the ground. Another satsuma. That just completely died back, but it sprouted a new growth, so there's hope for that one. There is hope. All right, let's see. I'm gonna need a bucket. Yeah, let's empty this. jujube in the ground there. And then I got one more to put in the ground. I'll show you real quick which one. Miracle fruit. So it's going to be basically underneath this big strawberry tree. I butcher this guy way down every year, way down, but right now it's creating a nice microclimate for my achacha, which is like right there. That's the achacha. It's sandwiched in between two strawberry trees, yellow and this red one. And I'm gonna put this miracle fruit in the ground as well. So, you know what? I think I'm gonna do both of those next time. The jujube and the miracle fruit. Alright, well, join me next time. We've got some more fruit trees to put in the ground. Today I spent most of the time just up potting stuff, so